Hey guys, how's it going? I'm the Duke of Italy, your favorite lo-fi red music YouTuber. My face is looking red right now. And today, we're talking a little bit about Red Flame, the Lil B mixtape. Now, Lil B is an icon, and he's a person that this is the first time I'm talking about on this channel, but it definitely will not be the last. And the reason I'm talking about Red Flame today is for many different reasons, because a couple of words I would use to describe this record is shocking, yet grounded at the same time. Because Lil B has quite the eclectic discography. You know, he has a whole bunch of mixtapes, a lot of them over an hour and a half long, and he's got a treasure trove of tracks. The bass god himself is such an interesting figure that I can't help but talk about him today, because he's got so much going on that he's really worth mentioning several times. Like any other Lil B mixtape, you've got a lot of pretty standard ideas on this thing here. A lot of meme tracks. He has a very wacky singing style. He has iconic and legendary bars, and he has these bit crushed, blasted out beats that sound also pretty legendary at the same time. You would not get groups like Rodeo Glow or High C or Fax Gang today if it wasn't for Lil B and his work with Clams Casino. And I'll definitely be talking about that in future videos because he's just an innovator, really. Now on this album, you're going to see a whole lot of tracks sort of like the highlights off of an album like Blue Flame. You know, you got Wonton Soup and Shoot a Gun off that record, which are legendary Lil B tracks, and they're going to stand the test of time forever just because they're so awesome. Meanwhile here, you got We Dem Based Boys, which is just a hilarious track. If you eat during this track, you're going to choke. Also, Robberversary and You For Real are hilarious. And of course, you got Woo Woo Swag, which makes no sense, but at the same time, it makes perfect sense. If you hear it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's just a banger. And this album is chock full of these bangers. So of course, the word of the day here is going to be entertaining. Despite this thing being a massive brick of an hour and a half long of music, it's entertaining the whole time. There's not really a skip on here in terms of entertainment quality. You can talk about the quality of the actual music itself dropping at points, but the reason I'm talking about Red Flame over Blue Flame or any other Lil B mixtape is because there are some really grounded tracks on here. The first probably third of this whole record is top tier Lil B, and it's actually quite inspiring stuff. You've got the track Death Valley, which actually has this really weird, abstract, almost early viperish quality to it that has this really interesting style of storytelling, and it's gripping the whole time, and it's really gonna throw you for a loop the first time you hear it. And you've got the insanely hilarious and meta track I Killed Hip Hop, where if you ever thought Lil B wasn't a very smart guy, the bars about stealing Pro Tools sessions are hilarious. They're gonna have you on the floor. And so many of these tracks just evoke the image on this album cover. You know, you're going to be hard-pressed to take a lot of this seriously, but a lot of these tracks are totally worth taking seriously, especially off this first third. And this is kind of an interesting record because this is Lil B's sort of evil Lil B era. Now, a lot of people talk about him being the based god and how he unites nations and he ends racism. And this is all true, but that was not the case on this record. He actually talks a whole lot about rather pressing social issues. He talks about, he has one song that's pretty much about racism. And he has a part where he says, I love everybody, but not everyone's my homie. And it's kind of a simple bar, but at the same time, I can't help but love it because I'm like, yeah, that's totally true. And I love how that's kind of like a Christian parallel with Jesus and how he has all of these things about being the based God. It's almost like he's like a based second coming of sorts. Not to be blasphemous, but at the same time, it's the meta commentary is hilarious and rather fitting a lot of the time. And the track I Win is a really grandiose and exceptional track, despite actually feeling a bit more grounded and feeling a bit more like your typical West Coast hip hop, yet being top tier West Coast hip hop at that. Also, all of these interlude parts are hilarious every time where he's like, go listen to Blue Flame. You're not going to understand Red Flame if you don't listen to Blue Flame first. It's just the funniest thing ever. But yeah, this thing is actually so emotional, funnily enough. You've got parts where he's talking about how his grandmother should be living somewhere better than she lives, but even though Lil B is such a great rapper, he can't really do this for her yet. He's got stuff commenting about racism. He's got stuff where he commentates about poverty and social issues. And overall, it's a very uniting listen. And of course, you got the bangers sprinkled in. So overall, if you're trying to get into Lil B, this is a fantastic record. Sure, the quality dips at a couple points. His singing on Robberversary is terrible, but it doesn't matter because that's the funniest song of all time. So that's about all the time I have for today. Hope you guys enjoy this video and hope you guys enjoy this album. Like and subscribe. Everything's down below. Have a good day. Bye.